Welcome everybody to our show. This is Custom Fab Garage on our channel OCTANE TV on YouTube. Make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button, and on top of that, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can get all the new content that comes out weekly and even every day. This is what we're going to be working on today. This 2008 Chevy 3500 diesel HD. We're going to be doing a new radio and a backup camera on this today. This is what the stock radio looks like. Basically the DVD higher end navigation unit. These are the parts we're going to be using: a DMX 4707S. This is the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, mechless unit that Kenwood makes. We're going to be using a Metra 953305 double DIN dash kit. Crux interface, which is an S00GM-16. This is for the Bose and to factory interface the steering wheel controls. And then a Metra steering wheel, or basically a Metra antenna adapter, which is a 40CR19, which is your Chrysler antenna adapter, which is odd that they use those in GM, but that's what they use. So these are the 4 parts we're going to be using, and then we're also going to be doing a backup camera on this as well. First step we're going to start with on taking this radio out is we're going to use our plastic pry tool, and you're going to go around all the edges and pry this out. Now on these particular vehicles, you want to be super careful. I'd probably start from the bottom, pry out, and then as you're prying out, there's very large metal prongs right back here, super heavy duty prongs. So you want to be careful not to just start pulling and yanking, because you will snap and break those off. And this thing is extremely fragile across here because it's super thin plastic. So just be really careful when you're pulling this out. So with this being like this, now this is off. These are the metal pieces I was telling you about. Extremely difficult. Do not pry this out. You got to do it very softly. Next, we're going to remove all the 7mm on both sides, which is 4. And then we have 4 more over here. We're going to remove all those so we can take this piece, and this piece out. Take that out. Now that we've removed all those, these pieces are all going to come out. You're going to want to unplug them, which this one has 3 plugs, bottom one has 3 plugs, and then you're going to want to remove this. And this has a ton of plugs on the back of it. I'll show you that once we get these removed. All right, so we have all 6 plugs taken out. So now we're going to pull this out, and sometimes these are super short. Yep, so you're going to have to be super careful. This one's really thick, and that's what you're going to have to remove on the back of all this. Now we've got all 6 plugs over here, and then these are all of our radio plugs. This is your antenna. This piece here, I believe, is the nav antenna. And then these are all 4 of your main harnesses. This is mainly, I believe, video is the brown one. So all these are gonna be for like your main inputs, power, and then sound. So that's everything you need for the radio. So now we're gonna go wire the harness up so that way we can plug it in. So the Crux interface does actually come with an antenna adapter. Most of the pack ones will as well, but Metras don't, so that's a plus. Here's the Crux interface. We're getting ready to wire up, and it actually does come with a video input plug, which is pretty cool. That's really nice that they give you that. So here's a breakdown of the harnesses. This is the one that goes into the module. This is the other one that goes into the module. This is the Kenwood right here. And this is the other Kenwood. Now, they kind of messed up. I haven't tested taped this one like I did the other ones, but they put 2 purples instead of 1 green, 1 purple. I don't know why, but we just butt connected everything. Basically, you're going to connect your 4 speaker wires here, and then over here you're going to have your power, ground, ignition. So that's all we've connected into here. There's also reverse leads and things like that. I didn't use any of those, but basically you're gonna use your red, your black, your yellow. The parking brake wire that plugs into the back of the radio, this mint green wire, we went ahead and grounded it, and then all the rest of them you just connect up. I still got to clean up this wiring, but we went ahead and tested tape this harness. This plugs into the truck. So, and then this right here will plug into the module as well. But that's pretty much how you do it. It's very easy to do. I'm gonna clean this all up and then we're gonna install it in the truck. This looks like a mess right now, but we plugged our plugs in. It also comes with our video cable, which we plugged into there. Our antenna adapter is the only thing we haven't plugged into our antenna yet, which is here. Everything else is plugged in, modules plugged in, sorry it's a mess. We had to wire up a rear view camera, and then you're also gonna wire this wire up, which is the steering wheel input right here, because Kenwood does not use a 3.5 millimeter, they use a blue with yellow stripe. So you're gonna have to connect that wire into there. So we connected that and we connected that, and then our parking brake wire. So everything should work right now. I'm going to test it and see if everything works. You also have to set the dip switch settings on this side for what type of radio you have. So look in the instructions on that as well. And then on this side of the module, you put it in if it has Bose or non-Bose. Well, the crux harness did not work. We did not have, the interface would not make the amplifier turn on. So we had to use this GM3A-RSTX. Hopefully this is gonna work, because I need it to work to make this radio turn on, because everything else was working on the crux interface. It just would not provide sound. So the Bose amp would not turn on no matter what I did. So let's pray that this one works. So we're gonna wire this up and see if this works correctly. All right, so we've got the new pack audio harness wired up, parking, you know, your interface for your steering wheel interface, your reverse for your rear view camera that we have hooked up. All the wires match up just like the other wiring harness, and everything is working properly. So if you do have the factory navigation, Bose, all that stuff, this is the harness that you're going to need. Do not use that crux interface. It will not work. All right, so we got everything installed. Everything's working. We have our rear view camera basically working. Our radio is working. So Bluetooth is working, everything is working properly. So it was basically just the harness that was the problem. So the crux one will work if you don't have Bose and you don't have all these extra things, but for sure definitely use the pack audio harness, because that one will work perfectly with your Bose interface and all that. All right, so if we push our steering wheel controls here, basically it's making everything move up and down like it's supposed to. Everything's working, Bluetooth's working, backup camera is working like normal. Everything's good.